In this module, we will have a look at the post-process effects. We will have a look at the post-process volume in our level, and we will add a post-process component to our character. We will use this post-process on our character to drain the color from our scene when our player takes damage. The post-process volume has got to be one of my favorite volumes inside of Unreal. You are just able to change the look of your scene so dramatically. When we go to the world outliner, you can already see that there is a post-process volume over there, and it is already changing some things around. So when you click on it, you're exposed to a lot of different settings, and the most straightforward ones would be under color grading. You can change the temperature, change to really warm, change to really cold. I'm gonna reset that. You can change the tint, and you can change a whole lot more settings. In the scene over here, you can see that I put saturation on 1.1, and I did something with the contrast. We will also be working with saturation in our character. Now this is a volume, so I've currently have it set to infinite, unbound. So now even if I'm here, you can still see the effect, but if I turn this off, the effect is also turned off. You can see it's a volume. So when I go into the volume, it's enabled again. It also uses priority. So if you have a different volume with a higher priority, the one with the higher priority will apply its effects, and the one with the lower priority will be ignored. Just like you have a post-process volume, you can also add a component. Let's go to our first-person character and add a post-process component. Post-process. This is basically the same, but it's unbound and not really a volume. It's a component, so it just applies these settings. Let's compile. With the post-process volume selected, change the priority to 1. This will give it a higher priority than the one that we have in our level. And we want to set the blend weight to 0. So by default, it's not really enabled. Blend weight determines how much it should apply to the scene. So it's basically just a multiplier of the whole volume. So what we want to use it for is to drain the color from our screen as our health goes lower. So we'll put saturation on 0. This will drain all the color from our scene. But then we'll use the blend weight to update how heavy this is being applied to our scene. Compile and save. Let's move up our debug and extend it a little bit and drag this out. So just as we update our health bar, we want to update our post-process volume's blend weight. So we can get a reference to it, and we can set the blend weight. Make sure it's connected. Blend weight, similar to our health bar, needs a value of 0 to 1. So we could do the same thing as we did before with the health bar. We can divide our current health by our maximum health, but we can also use something different and learn something new, and that's called map range clamped. Map range clamped. I'm going to make some room for this node, move up everything, move this even a little bit further, and connect this. So this might look a little bit overwhelming. We have 4 numbers that we need to fill in range A, in range B, out range A, out range B. But it's actually pretty simple. Let's keep it simple and use the whole numbers. So we have a range of going from 100 to 0. Our health comes in. It's in between 0 to 100. And then the output, the out range A, out range B, needs to be the same. So if our value is A, then what is our output? It would be 0, because we do not want the post-process effect to be active if we have full health. But if our health is 0, we need this post-process to be in full effect. Compile and save. Let's play. So when we press P, you can see that slowly but surely the color is just disappearing from our screen. Now our health is never going to be 1 basically, because if our health is 0, then the game restarts. So you can also change the range. So say we start at 70 and end at 20. This means that as long as our health is above 70, the blend weight will always be 0. And if our health goes below 20, it will always be 1. So we're at 70 health, nothing seen. Yep, there we go. 60, 50, 40, 30, 20. This is just there's no changes between this and the last one. We're at the lowest of low. That was our introduction to widgets and the post-process volume.